got marketing questions? Today we are going through all of your, well, not all, we can't go through all of them, but we are going to tackle at least 3 of your marketing questions. I have Tracy Taylor, who is marketing. She's actually a social media guru over at TNT Marketing, and I am a marketing strategist at Idea Pros, and and you want to ask a question, put it in the chat so that we can get your questions answered. And we'll take as many as we can in this amount of time. So hi, Melanie. Nice to have you here. Let us know if you have any marketing questions. We're doing marketing questions live, and we have some really good ones from the audience. And you can submit the questions anytime through our post. There's always a Q&A form, so you can submit a question to us anytime, and we'll add it to our next Q&A, or we'll cover it on our next show. So we'll start the first one off. If you're watching us live, go ahead and put #live. I'm going to put another reminder up in just a second here. But the first question that we have is, hi, I'm a small business owner of a spa. I have one employee who does the massages, and I'm the esthetician. I'm wondering how important marketing is and what I can do on a limited budget with very little time. Isn't that all of us? Like, no budget, no time, but need to make big money.
No time.
Right, exactly. So Tracy, you want to tackle some of the social media aspect?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you don't have a huge budget, my thing would be, I would have a conversation with you and say, hey, let's talk about where your ideal audience hangs out. Where are they going to be so that you get the most bang for your buck when it comes to getting engagement, getting new clients, doing all the things on social media? Because the thing is, the more you put out there, the more you're going to get. But I don't want you doing something if you're not going to be there. So the way I tell people is, think of each platform as its own community. And if you will post in that community, you'll be engaging, people are liking, commenting, and sharing with you. That's a great place for you to be. And sometimes as a new business owner, you have to kind of put your toe in the water on more than one platform. And so you might say Facebook and Instagram. And if those get you really good results, then you're probably really awesome right there. Depends on what your target market is. It depends on what services you're trying to offer. You might want to dabble a little bit in Instagram and see if that works for you. But ultimately, it really depends on where your target audience is hanging out. That is what we need to focus on.
Absolutely. And I think there is a little bit, I'm sorry, I'm a little froggy today. So there is a little bit of that aspect of, do I like this platform or not?
Yes.
And I tell people, if you really do not like it, then you're not going to keep up with it. And so if anytime you get onto Instagram, it absolutely stresses you out, don't do it, because it will show. It will totally show, because you'll give up on whatever you're doing and people will be frustrated. So pick, if there's one platform that you like to be on. Yes, your clients might not be over there, but you don't hate it.
Right.
Then I think it's worth it. Like for me, Instagram is really hard because I feel like going through images for me, I mean, some information comes from it, but it's very hard for me because I don't have time. So if I'm going to go do something, I want it to be really, really effective. So if I'm a Twitter person, I like to get the info. I'm like learning all the time. But if I'm over on Instagram, like my team has to be over there because we're a marketing company. But I'm totally honest when I tell people, like, that is not my, I will never be,
hang out.
It's not me. And some people are, and that's great. And, but for you as a small business owner, when you don't have a team, like you need to be willing to be over on that platform and be learning from what people are doing. So, but I do think there are some things that you can bootstrap. I do have a 100 marketing strategies PDF. So if you want the strategies, just #strategies. It's got everything you can imagine, 101 marketing strategies. It's actually through Idea Pros, and it's great. It's typically for entrepreneurs who are growing, like creating products and apps, but it's awesome. And I can definitely send that to you. But it's really, good morning, Meg. It's really, there's lots of little things that you can do for marketing that don't cost any money. I love of influencer outreach or building
Mhm.
partnerships. Tracy is a great example. Tracy's a
Yeah.
partner, not in like people hear influencer and they think to themselves it's got to be a celebrity or somebody that's
No, it
huge.
doesn't.
Tracy is a huge influencer. She went live and she introduced me to this. She was going live in a really, really large group. She has a really solid base of followers that love her marketing, her social media. So I found someone I resonated with that I could pair up, and our services are complementary. So joint venture is what it's also called sometimes. So find someone you can do things with and send to both of your bases and promote both of
Absolutely.
you. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you have 100 and something ways to do your thing. And I have a document that is 32 ways to market your business online for free. I broke
Well, there
that
we go.
down into a live session yesterday on my business page. So if you are curious about those 32 ways, pop over there, check it out. If you want the actual document that I use, then I'm happy to send it to you, because you're not going to remember everything I talked about in 20 minutes. It's not going to work. So, and you can
Exactly.
definitely go in depth. Yes. Yes.
Great. Excellent. So we have some others, and I know we could go for forever on these topics, like on and on and on, but use the resources for sure. There's lots of little things that you can do, from, have you reached out to your friends and family? And are you actually, this is huge. A lot of people are like, I'm doing social media, I'm not getting any results. Well, are you actually asking for somebody to do something? Do you have a CTA? A lot of people are like, I'm posting crazy pictures and testimonials, but have you ever asked for their business?
Right. Are you actually, are you posting something? Are you adding a message button? Are you adding a learn more button? Are you adding a call now button? What do your images? Are they just really awesome images? Because I'll give your photography work credit, but it's kind of like what we did last week with some of the ads, the good, bad, and the ugly. People, what work? So you have to sit there and say, this is what it's doing. We do this every week. We definitely get questions, we get comments, we get suggestions, we get people that want to learn more. So for us, this is a call to action for us, because we are asking you to send us your questions, send us your things that can help you, that we can actually help you with. Melanie, how do we add a button to a post of Facebook? Love your heart. I will, I'll have to call you, Melanie. It's really easy. So
awesome. Yeah. That's really good. So we have a couple more questions, but that one's going to require some screen share most likely, huh? Or just a little tutorial. That's a good resource to put up, though. And I think it's usually in a boost, right? In general, a boost or an ad.
So when you go to do your post, you can click at the bottom, and it should have on your business page, it should have the little messenger button or the call button, and it will say get messages or get calls. And if you click it, it just adds it to the bottom of your post.
Oh, gotcha.
I would not recommend doing it on all of them, every single one of them, but I would definitely do it on something that you are wanting action with that week. It's definitely a good thing to do.
Great. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, so some of the other questions, we have 2 more questions. Yeah. If you guys have questions, like we're going to cover them if you pop them in for sure. And so the next one is, ladies, hey. Okay, so I love being on Instagram, and I have almost 10,000 followers, but I'm not exactly sure what kind of ROI I should be looking for when it comes to social media. I'm happy to have so many followers, but what now?
Wow. ... That's nothing. ... So yes.
You want me to take it? I know you talk about ROI, so there's a big difference.
This question comes to my heart, but I know that we both have answers for it. So here's what I would like to say, and then I think you'll probably finish it up and do a lot with it. So what type of ROI are you honestly looking for? Because some people want engagement, some people want reach, some people want messages, some people want phone calls, some people want to book appointments. Your ROI is solely dependent on your business. Everybody's ROI is different, but social media is, in fact, return on involvement. Like, write it down, hashtag it out, whatever you need to do. You cannot expect a big ROI. Each platform is different, but Instagram specifically, are you using the hashtags? Are you drawing attention? Do you have an Instagram pod where a certain number of folks are liking, commenting, and sharing your post? Are you getting things done on that platform? 10,000 followers, she should be getting something back per month. But
Right.
I don't know what she wants, so it's hard for me to say what kind of ROI am I supposed to get? Because my question, I would literally flip it back to her and say, what do you want to get out of it?
Right.
And
Exactly.
that's my biggest thing for it. I mean, I don't want to be devil's advocate. I don't want to sound like a mean lady, but that honestly, when somebody says that to me, all of my clients have a different thing. Some of my clients want social media for social branding. Some of them want to have their Facebook page active so that folks can tag them in those comments in all the groups. Everybody has an entirely different want. So that would be a personal question. And I know, Tessa, you have more for that. So I'm going to turn it back to you for that.
I'm a numbers girl. So I think that the people who ask, what is a typical ROI? What can I expect from doing social media? And so if you're a numbers person, you just have to understand your KPIs. So
Right.
if you are putting in advertising dollars and you're doing something very strategic and you have clear checkpoints for us to say, yes, they made it to this level. Yes, they made it to this level.
Right.
Then we can create an ROI projection.
Yep.
But a lot of people don't have that. So they're just putting out things on social and they're saying, well, how am I going to know? I'm going to say, calculate all of these things I'm spending money on, and then how much do I sell? If you don't have a really, really clear strategy, it's really likely that you're not going to get any or ROI if you haven't really thought through what it is that you're, like Tracy said, what do you want to accomplish?
Right.
So look with the end in mind. What is it you're trying to get people into? Build it in. I love how Melanie put in there the 80-20. I love the 80-20 rule anyway.
Yes.
So 20% of your posts, if you do it this way, 20% is going to be specific to your call to action, what you are going to make money on. So if you're building that in, you know what posts those are, and you're tracking everything and you're looking at your numbers, then, okay, we might be able to get to that number. But if you don't put CTAs in, you're not promoting your business, then it truly is only exposure and involvement. Like you said, the ROI could be more about involvement. So I think of social media as, if you have to have 18 touches to close a sale, social media is just another one of those touches. Like in the old days, you might be sending snail mail. That is a touch point. Social media is just another reminder and touch point. And to me, that in itself is super valuable in getting you to a close if done right. But I really think that you have to take a look, and we have there's a whole strategy behind how to make all this happen for your business. There's a strategy that even goes all the way back to how people are asking about the things that you sell and how they search for you. So if you look at the very, very core of what they're searching for and look in Google, see what the results are, see what people are asking for, and you're starting with that and then building your whole campaign, you're going to see how much it's compound effect. So it takes a while for it to take effect, but you'll see that ROI, but you have to put in the time. You also have to put in some engagement or some exposure ads, because people aren't going to find you. So there's a combination of things. But for your small business and how you are, if you are trying to stick to a really, really tight budget, just be realistic in what you want to achieve. If you want to achieve, she's already obviously achieved followers.
Yeah,
so
that's amazing.
So how can she get on is her next step to get people on the phone? Is the next step to get them to download something so they're engaging over in email? She just has to figure out the very next.
Is it cross-pollination to say, I want you to go from Instagram to Facebook because maybe I have more call to actions on Facebook than I do on Instagram? It's all different. I mean, I had a completely different call to action on each platform. I'm not going to tell you I don't, because I do. LinkedIn is where my ideal client hangs out, but I have to have the other platforms to market to keep up with everybody else and to do all the things, because who am I to have a marketing business if I say, oh, I'm just on LinkedIn, I don't have anything. Right. So, the only thing that it's a fun fact about me, and Tessa, I think you remember it, but the first whole entire year I had a business, I didn't have a website.
I'm the same way. I did it too.
Tessa did not build my first website. Tessa actually overhauled it and built my second one, which is the one that I currently use. But I have, that's got a different call to action to it. Going to networking meetings has a different call to action to it.
Yes.
And it's okay to be that way. And you need to do that because each platform has a different audience on it. And you just have to know, what does the audience do for your business?
Perfect. Yeah. So, figure out what your next step is. And if that's pulling them over to other channels, yeah, exactly. Can you offer something that they want? So the freebie is a natural one to your base. If they're following you and there's something you can really entice them with, that's going to get them more engaged to get into your bigger project. But check out our funnel video. I have a funnel video. It's a 3-part series about funnels and starting with the end in mind. And it makes it so that you have something that people crave. It's a magnetic funnel training session, and it really works. I've seen it work for so many people. So you just have to get clear, then track. I love KPIs. I'm a nerd for that. I want a spreadsheet that tells me everything. There's reporting software that can tell you almost all these answers without you having to go to 15 places. So just message us if you need any of these resources for sure. So the last question, because I know we're getting close. Please, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. And if you're watching us live, let us know, #live, because we want to know that you're here. I know Melanie did. She told us that she was here. We can't see you until you actually message or, put something in there. So please. Okay. So the last question that we have is, I have to get back to it. Okay. This is, I heard I need to do video, but I don't know what I should be talking about. How do you pick your topics? Do you want me to take this one or you want to go?
My nose for a minute, like Bewitch. I'm going to just be real quick and simple and say, first I'm going to say hey to Jason because he just popped on with us. But here's the thing. How do you pick your topic? Yes. If it's around your business, if it has, and hey, Jennifer, if it has anything to do with your business, the answer to how do I pick a topic is yes. If it touches a pain point, if it's a highlight of a testimonial, if it is a thing that you want to say, this is what I'm going to do. I know Monday, I'm going to talk on Marketing Monday about how to maximize listing your website in LinkedIn. There's 3 spots and a lot of people place at one time. I'm not going to give you the secret. You'll have to join me on Monday morning at 9 a.m.
Look at her having a video topic.
I know. But listen, so you can't have a bad topic. And you can't say, oh, I don't like how I look on video. I don't want to do this. No. Do it. We said this, and especially we started really promoting this stuff at the beginning of, hey, Billy, hey, Robin, we put this, and Judith is on too. Oh my goodness, we went crazy.
Yeah, guys, we're answering questions. So if you have marketing questions and you're live with us, put it in the chat. We might have time to cover it.
Yes. But we started saying this, and people haven't heard us say it in quite some time. But here's the kicker. The internet has no business hours. More people are scrolling online right now, and they are just going pop to pop to pop on all these platforms on their phones. So put yourself out there. You never know who's going to get in hold of you. And the next day you're going to wake up and have 2 or 3 messages that can go in your calendar, and you're going to get new clients, or you're at least going to get a consult with somebody, and you get to show them so much more than a 20-minute video. So the answer is yes to video. And the topic is all the things. That's my favorite thing. I'm like, you can't go wrong with it.
Well, I'll tell you from my perspective, I'm going to share my screen and show you guys some of how I do what I do. So I am very big on content marketing and building something that people are actually searching for. So this may look really confusing, but this is a normal Google search. All I did is put social media marketing into a Google search. I'm using keywords everywhere, which is a plugin that you have to pay. I think you pay for credits as you go. So you can, anytime you do a search, it's going to show you some statistics. This is so important if you want to be able to see what people actually care about. Now, this could work from an SEO standpoint, even to make it so that people can find you in the internet, like your blog is actually going to get ranked, but it's hard. And I'm just going to be totally honest with you. It takes time for you to get your pages ranked for blogs or for podcasts. But one thing that you can think ahead of time and say, what is it I'm going to pick? Because here up in the top, it's showing you that we have a volume of 200,000 people looking per month for social media marketing. People are paying $5.18 per click. That's not even a lead. And the competition is a 0.4. So the closer you get to 1, the more competitive. So surprisingly, it's not very competitive, but it's expensive. So picking this as a word just to say I'm gonna do social media marketing is not the best fit, because we're going to spend a lot of money. So when you can do is look at what people are searching, and they're called long tail keywords. Like I can do social media marketing tools. Now I have 4,000, but again, the cost per click super high. Marketing people are just paying a lot of money. But you could pick something like types of social media marketing, where your cost is substantially less, and you're going to actually provide a resource. Again, you have less people and the competition is light, but this is how I start every single thing that I'm going to do on the internet. I start with, what is it that people are asking me? What should they be asking me? So the topics could be either of those two: myths or common misconceptions in the industry. My hair salon girl, she actually Simone, like shampoo, right? She's always like, well, if you do this, it's, this is a common myth that doing this is going to help your hair to get shiny, something like that. So it's like she's busting myths over there. So you can just think of things like that. Start with the ones that people are asking, put them into keywords everywhere, figure out which ones are your best bet, and build your title around that. So your video title literally needs to say this exact keyword phrase in it. And then you have a chance of showing up and creating video content and putting it over on YouTube. A lot of people make the mistake of doing awesome content on Facebook Live or Instagram Live, but they never move it anywhere else. So definitely, put those videos in other places, so you're getting the biggest bang for your buck in video. And then we have a topic outline. We always do, like, here's our month, here's what we're trying to do for the, so it's hard to go from one thing to the next and figure out if you're, it's like you get up every day, like, what am I going to talk about? If you plan it out. Yes. Hi, Robin. Nice to see you. Absolutely. I'll give you a call. So what I think is really good is just to keep in mind that you can build, you can batch, you can plan ahead, and you can actually make a lot of content from a 1-hour session of sitting down. So Tracy and I, if we actually recorded for a whole hour, we could have little tiny clips for a whole week worth of social media. And so it's really helpful. I see a question over there. So I do want to. Yes, let me go ahead and put it up.
Yeah. What if your topic is not niched and what you do? Isn't that a bit counterproductive? I'm going to say no. Maybe devil's advocate, but here's what I'm going to say. There are people out there that really want to get to know the you behind the business. And so as long as you are giving them value, they appreciate it, and you can go up on the credibility curve, which once you raise on the credibility curve, obviously they're going to want to do business with you. But that's part of the like, know, and trust. And so sometimes it's very beneficial to come on and say, listen, this is something near and dear to me. This is something that's been on my heart. This is something I've been involved with, or whatever you want to do. But, let people know what all that you do outside of just your business. That's something that's very, it's very important. I mean, when my kid used to play football and wrestling, my schedule on his game days was very much shortened. And I would tell people, I'm very specific. I don't know if we're going to be at home. Well, I do know, but home or away. And I travel to see every single game. And, and when he was wrestling, I'd have to cut my day short, because guess what? The wrestling team doesn't have a bus, and they rely on parents. And so the ones of us that work from home or work for ourselves, because I'm in my office, I'm not at home, and the stay-at-home parents, we were the ones that had an SUV full of stinky, nasty boys, and that was part of my thing. So yes, you don't have to have everything be directly related to your business or your topic or your niche, because you can still add very much value.
Well, you can be, we're all people. We're human. And I know I've gone live when I was just frustrated about something. And I'm like, literally, guys, I don't know what it depends. It really depends on your audience. So, I mean, obviously, if you're a lawyer, it's going to be a lot more professional and polished than if you're working in social media marketing and a part of our lives is to capture other people's lives.
Right.
Then, our topics might be a little bit more broad, but I would say that video, anytime, you only have 4% of your audience that's going to see anything at any one moment when you post it. 4%. So you could post something today, only 4% is going to see it. And so test. I mean, I don't know how else to put this, but like it's gonna give you an idea of what people like or don't like. And it's very possible that your audience is not. I know with mine, if I'm looking at 6- and 7-figure business owners, they don't have time. So I can't put a whole lot of fluff into anything major that I'm doing because I know where they're at. Their mental place is that I've got 2 minutes for you and that's it, right? So, I mean, half an hour is
out already in the beginning. Right. Hey, we have another question from Josh Robbins, and it speaks to my soul.
Hi, Josh. Good to see you. So what about those of us who are running hard manufactured products and are not up for video? As in I do performance videos of my product in real life application, but I'm not comfortable with the talking videos. Yes. So that's okay. You don't have to be in front of a camera. And we've talked about this before. There's lots of ways to do audio over. And I know you said you're not comfortable talking, but maybe that's just the video part. Yes. But you can, what I should say is that you'll just practice and you'll get better at it. I don't want to say get over it, but I kind of do. I know Tracy would probably say
I like to say get through it, not get over it, because there's a difference in get over it and get through it. And that's a mama thing, especially with boys, and sometimes with girls. But that's one of my things. I tell them, you can either get over it or get through it. Those are your two choices. But for Josh, I would do some of the videos like where you're behind the camera and you're showing your stuff. So you're giving descriptions and details and all the great things about your products. And another thing that you can do for videos, which would just be amazing, is have people send you video testimonials that you can use and how they use your product. So
other people get on video for you.
So you can, have them do, like, it works. So you can have them do stuff. And that way, if they do video testimonials, Josh, you can use that across every platform.
Mm-hmm.
Your website, your social media platforms. You can use it on YouTube. And all you're going to do is just continue to build up and up and up and up. So I think even if you're not comfortable in it, yes, you will get through it. So cheers to that. And
I don't mean to be so rough on it, but I think
around it, and you will we can help you with ways that you can tap video into your business without you having to actually be in front of the camera if that's something that you just don't like.
Oh my gosh. And I love these questions and I have to run. Unfortunately, we're on a super tight time frame today. So guys, put in your questions. If you have other questions we didn't get to cover, we will cover them on the next show. We go live every Wednesday at 11 a.m. And definitely follow our page. As soon as this live's done, you'll get a notification option to turn on notifications when we go live. We'd love to have you here. You can also get reminders in the post. There's a link you could get texted or emailed, a reminder when we go live on Wednesday so that you can participate, because we want you here with us. We want this engagement and conversation. So we'll see you guys all next week.
11 a.m.
11 a.m. Wednesdays, 11 a.m. Eastern time.